What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Red Zone DFS. We are talking showdown for Monday night, October 24th. We have the Chicago Bears hosting the New England Patriots. Let's jump right into it. Interesting pricing here from DraftKings. We've got Ramondre Stevenson priced as the number one most expensive player tonight, which is quite the interesting little move from DraftKings. Obviously, this is predicated on, players, this being a largely maybe a running game. We are expected to get Mac Jones back for the Patriots, whatever your thoughts are on that might be. But yeah, number one and number two most expensive player are Ramondre Stevenson and David Montgomery. So I think that's very interesting. So that brings us to our first point. My favorite overall captain of the night is going to be Justin Fields. He's $400 cheaper than Ramondre Stevenson. He's coming in at a significant positive leverage, as we can see here, right? There's really no way to kind of get around it. That's just a great spot to be in with a running quarterback who has some pretty easy stacking options, right? He is going to be my number one captain play of the night. He's picking up a little bit of ownership, but if people are only going to are only interested in starting him 6% of the time, it's something I'm going to be really in on. My second favorite captain is going to be David Montgomery. I mean, he just coming in. Him and Damian Harris both are coming in with massive positive leverage in this spot. Everyone is going to be on Ramondre Stevenson. That's fine. I get it. This could easily be one of those games where you play Damian Harris at the captain spot, where he's showing up in the optimal 13% of the time, but people are only owning him 4% of the time, and you could just be absolutely destroying the field. I think it's a great spot to go to for a contrarian lineup. And then you can kind of play the parts around it as well. If we look at some of the top receiving options of the game, Jacoby Myers, fair price at $8,200. A little bit of a negative leverage here, but I really do like using him. I think his ownership is pretty interesting. He's only being owned in the flex 28% of the time, but he's being owned in the captain spot 15% of the time. So that's pretty strange. He's about even leverage to the field when you're talking about the flex spot, but people are owning him in the captain spot much more than the optimal is showing. But I still really like Jacoby Myers. Darnell Mooney is going to be the number one receiving option for Justin Fields. Massive negative leverage here. I do like playing Mooney a little bit. He's got a great price playing him in the flex spot. He's the guy I'm going to choose to prioritize when I play my Justin Fields captain spot. We definitely got the defense in play tonight with a couple of pretty bad teams. New England's defense is the one that is popping up a little bit more. And then you start to kind of scroll down the list here. We've got both of the kickers obviously well in play for me. They're both having positive leverage. You can play them both in the same lineup together. That is completely fine. Devontae Parker, I think, is an interesting one. If you're looking for a little bit of leverage, he's just priced under Mooney, and he's kind of in a weird no man's land there at 7,000. Jacoby Myers is definitely the number one wide receiver there for an extra 1,200. I think I would rather just go there. Sorry to get a little water there. Cole Kmet, man, I mean, the pricing here is weird. You've got like Herbert, Pettis, Hunter Henry, Kmet, and Equinemius St. Brown, all between 4,600 and 5,400. I just can't. Dante Pettis is the ultimate do nothing. He's gone 12 points, 0, 0, 0, 0, 18. So he is the ultimate showdown player. If you're playing in the Millie Maker or whatever, I think you almost have to throw Dante Pettis into like even a captain spot and just go all in on him, because otherwise it's just a really, really weird spot for Pettis. Like I said, like both of the kickers here, Kendrick Bourne is trending toward not playing tonight. So, that really bodes well. I think for Hunter Henry getting a few more targets, but really it just puts me on a lot more Jacoby Myers than anything else. We start to look at some of these cheaper players. Now, I think Tyquan Thornton is a nice option to kind of get contrarian, especially if you're going to play a little bit of passing on the New England side. Really dynamic player with Kendrick Bourne out. I think that just is really going to help his options, and he's in a dead zone for pricing at 6,600. Just not a lot of people are going to play him. He's coming in at expected ownership of about 18%, which is nothing for a showdown, right? And then we talked about Dante Pettis a little bit more, coming in at about 6%. If you think Nelson Aguilar is your guy, personally, it's not for me, but at 11% owned, look, I completely get it, right? It makes sense to me. The issue here, we start to look for some of these value plays, and they're just really not there. But there's not a whole lot of big pricing up at the top of this board, so that way it would really kind of shy us away from pricing. If we look at some of the optimal lineups and the construction, that how it's come out, a lot of 5-1s, a 3-3 there, which is interesting, with Damian Harris and no Mac Jones. That's probably something I like a little bit more. But yeah, so like I said, I think that my two favorite captains for tonight are going to be Justin Fields and then Jacoby Myers. I think that Damian Harris is an amazing contrarian spot for captain, and I'm definitely going to get there a fair amount of the time. I think you have to prioritize playing a fair amount of David Montgomery as well. Harris and Montgomery, guys, are two of the highest leverage plays on the slate. You kind of just have to find a way, I think, based on the numbers, to get those two in your lineup, especially if you're playing like a larger field tournament. It's just going to be crucial. I don't think you need a ton of Mac Jones. You can access the Patriots passing game through his receivers. You can go through Myers. You can go through Tyquan Thornton. I just don't think that Mac is going to be the guy that gets you there tonight. A lot of people are going to play him in the captain spot. I really don't know why. He's just not a very good captain. I mean, even if he throws 2 to 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, he probably gets you there. 2 touchdowns at 9,800 with probably only like 200 passing yards, I don't think it really gets you there. And this game is certainly not going to be any sort of crazy shootout, I don't think. I mean, anything is possible, but with the low total that we have here, I mean, we're at a 40.5 total with New England about a 9-point favorite. I mean, that's why some of these running backs are good, and that's why a lot of people are not playing David Montgomery. But Chicago's one of those teams that's just not going to abandon the run, and Montgomery is so good that I'm more than happy to get to him. So again, good luck tonight. I really like lineups with both kickers. I think those are good spots to go to. I really like playing both New England Patriots running backs in the same lineup, and then running it back with like Fields and one of his receivers. And that's kind of where I'm going to be going tonight, guys. Good luck, and I hope somebody hits it big.